Hi everyone, it's Jessica and this is VEDA Day 7. Today we went to the Doctor Who experience in Cardiff. We're staying in London right now. And I wanted to share a little bit about that experience, both from the perspective of just how I connected to the Doctor Who experience itself, as well as some of the logistics of how to get there, for those of you who might be interested in going someday. So we, before we came to Europe, I had looked up, we're going to be in London, what Doctor Who things can I see? Because of course, being a total geek and a Whovian, London has been something that I wanted to be able to experience for a really long time. And so I looked online and found that the Doctor Who experience was actually something that I could do. It's an official, they have an official shop and an official, museum, an area where they keep all of the, not all of the, but a lot of the sets and props and costumes and things like that. And then they also have this actual experience that you can go through. And so, of course, I got so excited, couldn't believe that that was something we're going to be able to do. So I kind of set that aside, put it on the list of things to make sure we did when we were in London, and kind of didn't think about it other than just, oh, I really want to do that, and really looking forward to it. So once we got here, I found out that actually the Doctor Who experience is in Cardiff, which is about 3.5 hours drive from London. Unfortunately, there isn't a train that gets you out there really any faster. It takes about the same amount of time on the train. And so I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to go, which of course made me really sad. So when we were in London, the first week that we were here, we didn't get a chance to go there just because there's so many amazing things to see in London. And so we were, we decided to come back a day early from Paris so that we could go to the Doctor Who experience, just because it was something that really meant a lot to me and that I really, really wanted to be able to do. Even though it's 3.5 hours away, it's 3.5 hours away versus in Colorado, it's, probably about 13 hours away. So definitely something that I wanted to be able to get out to see. And so I was looking for train tickets, and something that I've learned on this trip is that, people will tell you, oh yeah, here's a way that you can get there, and they'll not necessarily tell you the fastest way or the cheapest way, but maybe the most efficient way, or just the way that they happen to know or, have a personal preference towards. So a lot of people will say, oh yeah, just take the train. The thing about the train is that if you book really far in advance, you can get some really, really good deals. You can get train tickets long distance for pretty cheap, but you have to book those in advance, and you have to avoid certain days and holidays and all that kind of stuff. So it is sort of still considered Easter break a little bit, because there are some people in Europe who are still on Easter break this week. So that makes some of the train tickets a lot more expensive. Plus, it's a last minute booking, so it was going to be about £200 for the two of us to get out to Cardiff, and that just seemed like too much. It wasn't worth it, especially because I had read online that, even though it's really cool, the Doctor Who experience is not like an all-day thing. It's not like an amusement park where you're going to want to, or a huge museum where you want to spend the entire day there. It was only a few hours from what I had read. So I thought, well, 3.5 hours on the train there and back and £200, it doesn't feel worth it. So I was pretty devastated. I really wanted to be able to go. And then I thought, well, I wonder if there's a bus, and maybe that would be cheaper. So I looked up, and sure enough, there's a coach bus. You can take the National Express bus out to the Doctor Who experience in Cardiff. And so what we did is we took we have Oyster cards here in London, and so we took the tube over to where the bus stop is, and then we took the bus coach from London to Cardiff, and then we just purchased an all-day pass on the bus in Cardiff, which was only about £3.20 to be able to get an all-day ticket on the bus, and then we took that Cardiff bus over to the Doctor Who experience. It drops off literally right in front of it, so that's really convenient. So we were able to do that for about £40 on the coach bus for both of us to get out there. So that was really awesome. So we took the bus out there. Something that I didn't realize, when you book your tickets for the Doctor Who experience, they give you a window. So they say, this half-an-hour window that you want to do. So I knew that on the bus we weren't going to get there until about 1:30. So I booked the 1:30 to 2. So what happens is that you actually get to go into the Doctor Who experience at that final time. So 2 o'clock was our time. So if I had known, I would have booked us on the 1 to 1:30, and then we would have been able to start at 1:30. So we spent about half an hour looking around. We went over to the gift shop, but unfortunately you have to go through the whole experience first before you can get to the museum part. Which, I understand why they do that, but logistically, if you're trying to get out there for a day and, you want the most amount of time to see all the props and the costumes and things, definitely recommend booking, that earlier time, and being able to get in there a half an hour earlier would be helpful, because, you have such a short window when you're taking the bus and you're trying to get back to London in the same day. Ideally, I think it would be awesome to actually just stay in Cardiff. It was a really cute town. There were lots of shops, lots of really cool things to see. The Cardiff Castle is there. They have a lot of other sites and things that you can see, and it just was a really nice area. So if you can, I would recommend being able to do that, and then, go out there, do the Doctor Who experience in the day, and then spend the night in Cardiff. walk around, have dinner out there, have, you know, the next morning to explore Cardiff and then come back to London. I think that that would be ideal if you have a chance to do that. I think that would work out really nicely. And then you can kind of maximize your time there. But as a Whovian, just, you know, from the experience itself, I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was very well done. It was really cool to be immersed in the experience. I don't want to give too much away, spoilers, but I will say that there was this one part where you actually get to go in the TARDIS, and that was really cool because, you know, I think Doctor Who does a great job when you're kind of watching the show. You feel like you're an honorary companion and you're traveling with the Doctor and his companions. So it was very easy for me to picture myself actually being in this experience and, you know, kind of traveling with the Doctor. And that was just really cool to, you know, I kind of geeked out when the doors opened and we walked in and, oh, there's the TARDIS. Like that was pretty amazing. Probably the highlight of the experience for me personally was like, holy crap, we're in the TARDIS. So that was really cool. The other thing to note too is that there are certain times of year where you can go and tour the actual filming locations. They do walking tours of Cardiff because that's where they do a lot of the filming, and so you can go to different places where they filmed. And then there's also certain parts of the year when they're not filming with the actual TARDIS set that they use, where you can actually tour the real set that they film when they're in the TARDIS. So check on the website and you know, plan in advance, try to figure that out. I emailed them the other night to ask them a question. They were very responsive, very helpful. So if you have questions about when certain things are going to be running and it doesn't say that on the site, I recommend just contacting them and ask because, you know, those things would be really cool. They always say when you're traveling to leave a few things that you haven't seen so that you can come back to that place and have things, you know, to do. And so that will definitely be something that I want to do is the filming tours and, you know, ideally being in the TARDIS films. That would be really awesome. So loved it. I thought it was great. There were lots of props, lots of great costumes. Just a personal connection that I had is that I noticed that Clara's costumes are the ones that I'm really drawn to. I think she's probably my clothing companion. She's definitely not my favorite companion. You know, I'm very much a diehard Amy and Rory fan, but when it comes to clothing choices, I realized all the cute, you know, Peter Pan collars and the skirts, and I love how she will rock like a Peter Pan collar and a skirt with cons. So aesthetically, like I'm really drawn to her costuming, and I just being able to be up close to the costumes, I noticed that they were just so well done and, you know, really have added to the episodes, even though I didn't really notice that. So now I'm excited to go back and rewatch all the episodes, but really looking at the costumes and the sets, and you know, it was fun to read about how people who've done the costumes and the sets and the story for different episodes actually created the Doctor Who experience. So, you know, that was really neat to see as well and to be a part of that. So definitely recommend that you go check it out. I'll put a little bit of footage, some photos, and some videos here for you to see some of the areas that we saw, but I will talk to all of you tomorrow.